lovers of great things,
Oh,
and us, if not us, probably just great things, which are not necessarily the two are not alike in 3, 2, 1. Well, hello and welcome to another exciting round of Beer Thursday. We are back here on a wonderfully glorious Thursday morning, and we are going to do a great topic for you today that Shane is going to introduce.
yes. I thought of this idea while listening through an audiobook series. I do like the audiobooks, and there was one that it's been a popular novel for several years, and finally decided to check it out and liked it so much I went through the whole series, which gave me the idea for this round, Jay, which is 2, one for you, one for me, of our favorite heroines from books that we've read.
And to give that up. It's told
Yeah.
it
It's
was very addictive. and
almost addictive as sugar.
There was a intervention in. Oh, you mean like
heroines,
book?
like
Like a female lead in
the
a
female hero of
hero in a.
in this case, a novel. We could go to movies sometime if we wanted,
Yeah.
but since you and I are quite well read, more intelligent than the average bear, unfortunately less intelligent than most humans.
Exactly, but
Yes.
bears, we got those fuckers beat for sure. Hopefully.
And I was pretty sure I knew who you would pick because you were a fan of the author's work and of Stephen King's books involving a certain character, Jay.
Yes, Holly Gibney.
Holly Gibney.
She is Stephen King's favorite character that he's written. He's fascinated by, he loves her, as do I. And I guess the reason it is because how her whole thing started. She was I don't know, how would you describe her, Shane? She was
Shy, timid.
super shy, very, very timid. She had a lot of hang-ups. She
Socially
wasn't good
awkward.
around, very socially awkward.
Yeah.
It was just very difficult for her to kind of connect and be around other people. And she met this character in the Mr. Mercedes series. In the first book, she met the 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 main guy of the book. I don't think he was. Would you call him the hero? The
Is
the
he?
main. Yeah, he was
He was the detective.
he was
I don't
the
know if he would
detective.
be a hero in this particular story, but
Yeah, yeah.
Bill
But
Hodges.
Bill Hodges, the great Bill Hodges, I say as though he really existed. But you follow her story, and so Stephen King wrote a series of books. He wrote 3 books, the Mr. Mercedes series, and then he wrote a book of short stories, and I believe what was the name of that the name of that book was something
If It Bleeds.
If It Bleeds. And there was a story featuring Holly Gibney in there. Oh, and prior to that, he wrote a book called The Outsider,
Yeah, she was
where she was in it. Yeah.
yeah.
And then the latest book was a book all about her. She was the star. And I'm trying to remember the name of it. It was something really clever and inventive. Gosh,
I think was it Holly?
Oh, yeah, that's it. That's right. Yeah, that's it. That was it. Yeah.
No,
But
I thought it was interesting because it was about her. I mean, not necessarily she was the detective. She's the one that's figuring out this case that involves, but I kind of expected more of a backstory. Being called Holly, I thought it was going to dive into who is this Holly? How did Holly become Holly? But it really wasn't. It was another story, the continuation of Holly's career.
yeah,
But
like, here's the way I look at it. We already got her backstory when we first met her.
we did.
And this is what I love about the way Stephen King developed this character over a course of many different books. She went from this very timid person to still having her quirks, but a strong woman that could handle herself and was this caring and this great detective and a person that was just she had all these friends that had become her family. And just the way he developed the character, I grew to just love the character. And at first, she was great just because she was just so quirky and she would just say funny things. And then as she grew, and then gosh, she had a horrible mother that
Yeah.
treated her when she had to deal with that. And it was just great. And she was a survivor. And just, I don't know. I really hope we haven't seen the last of Holly Gibney. And to your point, maybe he will someday write a, uh, a book, sort of a prequel to talk about her early life, but it may not be as exciting.
Yeah, that wasn't necessarily what I wanted. It was just
No.
the title of the book.
Yeah,
Um,
you wanted a little backstory. Yeah,
yeah, I don't know. The title threw me a little because I kept waiting for it, and
yeah,
it's not that I missed it. Still enjoyed the book Holly,
yeah,
although I could do without the politics and the
yeah,
constant. I don't think at the end of the audiobook he talks about how COVID was an integral character for the formation of the story.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I'm no
yeah,
Stephen King when it comes to writing, but I think he could have
he
done without it.
yeah, he leaned in pretty hard on the politics on there. I was like, whether you agree or disagree with the politics, I mean, you have to notice that, wow, he's really leaning in really hard on that political thing, but I overlooked that just because he's just such a great writer and I love his books. But what I love about Holly Gibney is she's just a normal person. She's not doesn't have superpowers. She's not a trained assassin. She's not a nothing like that. She's just a normal person that progresses, evolves, and becomes her best self, so to speak.
Wow. Jay, it sounded like you wrapped that up, stuck the bow on, signed the name on the little tag that says "To Shane, Merry Christmas" right when the timer went off for the toast. That might be the best timed wrap up I have ever seen.
Well, I'd like to thank the Academy. I'd like to thank God first and foremost, please, and
Umbrella
Kanye
Academy?
West.
Oh,
What?
yes. He was an integral part of the
Yes. Shane, got a toast?
I do have a toast, which I prepared several months ago in advance for knowing that we would talk about this eventually.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with it, but it is an old toast. Life is full of difficult decisions that can lead to fortune or to regret. But the answer to beer with a friend is always yes.
Oh, yeah. I like
Cheers.
that one. Cheers.
Okay, Holly Gibney. Now, the person that I chose is perhaps less of a regular person because she has a pretty broad and practiced skill set. And
You're
my
not supposed to call women that. No,
what? What'd I say?
you can't say broad.
Oh, my bad. Apologize is what I do. Sorry. Because for the main reason, Lisbeth Salander from the Millennial series, perhaps best known by the first novel, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Lisbeth Salander will kick your ass because she is a badass. Like Holly, grew up with in a really bad situation at home. This sort of plays out over the 3 books that an author maybe Stieg Larsson wrote.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I really liked the books because I liked the characters in it. The stories were great. It's kind of a mystery, a little bit of action, and he wraps it up towards the end. You don't know where it's going, and then at the very end of each one, you figure out, okay, this is the person. This is the whodunit in it. But Lisbeth Salander, probably most known for her hacking skills, for her computer hacking skills, and she breaks into sites, gets information on people that helps her in her quest to do what she's trying to do in these books. But she's also a really good fighter. And even though she's really small, like short, skinny, the whole thing, she practices fighting. She works out really hard. She practices boxing, takes lessons from a professional boxer, knows some martial arts. In addition to being brilliant intellectually, she's also just a badass fighter. And then she's also a little bit of a math savant where throughout the book, she's learning all these complicated calculations and she's figuring out these things that mathematicians have been working on. And she'll just be out in the middle of the woods, working a case and then go, oh, that's the answer to that math calculation that this person was trying to figure out. So not as realistic as Holly, but more down to earth, no superpowers or anything like that, other than just a lot of hard work at fighting and learning her hacking skills. And there's several books. So Stieg Larsson wrote the 3 books, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, The Girl Who Played with Fire, and The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest. And sometime after that 3rd one, he passed away at the very ripe old age of 54, Jay. If I'm not mistaken, that's about your age.
That was my age. That was my age about a month ago.
Yeah, dude was younger than us and an author. And then what? So then another author, David Lagerkrantz, took over the series, and not as good as Stieg Larsson's books, but still good enough for me to continue the series.
Yeah.
And probably, I guess, in addition to the character, Lisbeth Salander, the thing I probably like about it most is the narrator, a guy by the name of Simon Vance. So if you're into audiobooks, you definitely get good narration on these books.
You're saying he gives good narration.
Yes, good narration is what he
Good to know.
offers to the world. Yeah. So yeah, we didn't want to go too long. We thought we'd just keep it down to the 2. I know that we've got a couple other ideas for favorite heroines from books we've read that we will bring back into the world in later rounds down the road, maybe next August.
Well, you know what? I will tell you this. I'm fascinated by I've saw the couple of the movies with, I forgot the actress's name.
What is her name? I don't know that she's been in much else, has she?
No, I want to
Rooney
say,
Mara?
well, it's Amara. Yeah. She's got a sister that's also an actress.
Yeah, and the movie was good. Here's what I did.
Yeah.
Because, everybody always says, read the book first. So I read like 80% of the book. So I'm getting near the end. And then I watched the movie. And then I finished the book. That might be the way to do the whole book first or movie first routine.
Okay.
Yeah, the movie's great too. I mean, she's great. Daniel Craig as as I guess the sort of hero. Can't go wrong with him. And then throw in Stellan Skarsgård and Christopher Plummer and the great Robin Wright. And that's a good cast. It's a good movie.
That is a great cast.
I wish they would. I don't know. They stopped. I don't know why they stopped, but I would like to see them, even if they reboot and have a different cast. I'd really like to see the full series of movies, or preferably like a Netflix or something series to go along with the books.
Yeah. How many books were there total?
So there's 3 by the original author, Stieg Larsson. There are 3 by the author that took over for Stieg, and his name is David Lagerkrantz. And then there was a 7th book written by a different author, and I haven't got that far yet, named Karen Smirnoff.
Well,
At some
Sounds
point,
like
I'll get to those.
she's a sounds like a Smirnoff. I love that last name. Sounds like it's a nice solid
Vodka.
yeah, vodka. Yes. I was gonna say something and I forgot what it was, so
Jay and I would love to know what you think about Holly or any of the stories of the Holly Gibney or any of the Millennial series. Or, you know what? Who is your favorite heroine from books you've read? Not from movies. We're not there yet. Maybe next year. Books you've read. So get out those eyeball things that look at words on pages and subscribe. Subscribe, because you never know what we're going to talk about. We never know what we're going to talk about, but we do know that it's going to delight you and brighten your day and make you laugh next Thursday morning when you hear that next fulfilling round of
Beer Thursday.